Brighton 0, Arsenal 0. So here are my 5 at 5. Number 1, and that was, for me, our man of the match yesterday, Emile Rowe. That moment where he got put through on goal with a lovely through ball. But the question is, should he have squared it to Bukayo Saka? Now look, I've seen a lot of tweets about this. Some people say absolutely he should have squared it. Other people saying that the angle wasn't there. Listen, I really believe he made the wrong decision on this. And I'm a huge fan of Smith Rowe, right? But on this one, he should have passed it to Bukayo Saka. Now, the people that are saying he couldn't have squared it, he couldn't have passed it, the defender would have cut it out, you must be thinking that we're talking about him squaring it when he was in the box. It was long before then, as you'll see from the image that I'm going to put here right now. At that point, had he just played a forward diagonal pass to Bukayo Saka, clearly no one's catching up with Bukayo Saka, and Emile Rowe, in my opinion, would have had an assist to his name, because you'd back Saka every single day of the week from that position. So look, that's what I'm talking about. That was the right time to play that pass, a very simple pass, and you can guarantee, based on the angle of the pass, the defender wouldn't be able to intercept it, and then Bukayo Saka's got a one-on-one with the keeper. So where do you stand? Put it in the comments below. Could Emile Rowe have passed it at that moment that I've just shown you, or do you think for some reason even that was not a pass that was on the cards? For me, that's where I stand on it. Number 2, and that is, did we miss Granit Xhaka? A lot of fans made the point after the game that the team that played so well against Tottenham clearly had Granit Xhaka in that 11, and now we go to Brighton away, we lose the midfield battle. I don't think anyone can really argue about that. And then as a result of losing that midfield battle, it seemed as though Brighton dominated the game. And probably if any team should have won, it would have been Brighton. So the question is, did we miss Granit Xhaka? Some people are saying it's very obvious. Having Xhaka in the middle of the park would have meant that Arsenal were a lot stronger in the middle of the pitch. And when you look at the tackles, for example, Brighton had double the number of tackles compared to Arsenal. Potentially Granit Xhaka would have changed that and shown a bit more bite in the midfield. But on the other hand, I feel like Sambi Lokonga played quite well. I know Thomas Partey didn't have his best day, but Xhaka would never have come in place of Thomas Partey. He only would have come in place of Sambi Lokonga. So as far as I'm concerned, I personally don't think that Granit Xhaka would have made the difference against Brighton. I think that even when you look at the two subs that came on, Pepe and Laka, they didn't really change the game. So what really would lead me to think that Granit Xhaka would have changed the game? In fact, a lot of people have also made the point that maybe this is one of those games where it was so close that Granit Xhaka could have made one of his mistakes that we've seen him make quite a few times, or maybe lost his discipline, and actually it could have cost Arsenal even getting the draw. So where do you stand on it? Do you think we missed Granit Xhaka, or do you think this game could have been one of those games where we're kind of ruining another Xhaka mistake? Now the question, was it 1 point gained or 2 points dropped? That's what a lot of people are asking themselves. And what I would say is that if we look at the expected goals, that really shows which team should have won, and therefore informs us as to whether it was 1 point dropped, 1 point gained, or 2 points dropped. Brighton's XG was 1.31. Arsenal's was a miserable 0.38. So look, I think that's pretty clear. Brighton, clearly, if any team deserved to win, it was Brighton. They made a lot of chances, and we're very lucky, in my opinion, that they didn't have that clinical edge to their play. On another day, we could have had a smash and grab, had maybe Aubameyang been on a bit more of a good day, but it wasn't to be. And I think I consider myself quite fortunate that, I watched my team avoid defeat. So I do think Brighton deserved to win. The XG reflects that, but listen, it's the sign of a good team when you play badly and you can still get away without losing. The next stage is to make yourself a great team. Play badly. When you play badly, go and make sure you still win that game. Number 4, and this was one of the most frustrating things in the entire game for me. Partey from long range. Honestly, man, What was he doing? He had 3 shots from long range. One of them was fair enough. It came to him at the edge of the box. He tried to pass it into the corner. It was the right thing to do. But the one that really got me was when he stepped up to take the free kick from 30, 35 yards. Thomas Partey has scored 25 goals in almost 300 games in his entire career. That's not prolific. So I have to ask the question, can anyone give me an answer to this? How many goals has Thomas Partey scored from direct free kicks in his career? How many of those 25 goals have come from free kicks? And if he has got a few from free kicks, how many of those from 30 yards out? It was a crazy decision for me. If he's our best player to take a free kick from there with a direct shot on goal, perhaps we should be crossing the ball into the box and playing the percentages a little bit, because come on, that's going to be probably the best goal of his career if he goes and scores that free kick. And on top of that, he had another shot from way out which went flying over the bar. We've seen it non-stop since he's joined the club. He doesn't seem to put the long shots on target, so someone needs to say to him, listen Thomas, stop it. And if Mikel Arteta is the one encouraging him, I don't get it. So what do you think it is? Do you think it's Arteta saying to him, go on Thomas, take the shots, you know you can score? Or do you think it's Thomas Partey kind of not following the manager's instructions? Because to me, it's one of the most frustrating things that I saw in the game yesterday. Number 5, and that is poor old Gabriel, who did quite well yesterday, but unfortunately for him, lost another tooth against Brighton. He must think that they do this for fun. I wouldn't be surprised if he calls in sick next time we play Brighton, because losing a tooth, that's no joke. Anyway, one thing that I noticed, and I'll show you, in fact, you know what, I'll play the video first and then I'll talk about it. Check this out. I can only assume he's looking for his tooth after the game. But the thing that bothers me, if I'm playing in a football team, one of my teammates has lost his tooth and then goes out in the freezing cold to go and look for it after the game, I'm going to give him a hand. And fine, I get this is Premier League level. They might not want the players to go out in that cold and they're letting Gabriel go and do it because obviously it's his tooth. But surely there's got to be some club staff that can go and help him out and go and look for that. Yeah, it's not exactly the nicest team ethic in the world, is it? Go on your bike, go and find your tooth. Anyway, it's not all bad. The last thing I'll show you is some good news. So he's already been to the dentist and it's all sorted. Thank you for watching 5 at 5. Please, as ever, if you are watching this, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and if you think there's anything that you noticed that I missed, please put it in the comments below. Take care. See you next time against Palace.